So I was gonna clean the window. I don't know if you can see, it's got tape right there. It's what holds that screen on. Go out there and mow the yard. You can see where I started mowing yesterday, but I can't put the phone here. I was gonna go mow the yard and let you see, but the sun is shining on it right here. So no can do. And let me put the mainframe. Have you heard about the new computers? Too bad it comes at a time when I can't afford one. Oh, this ain't my main phone. That's my monitor phone. Too bad it comes at a time when I can't afford one. But yeah, I knew this. I knew this a long time ago. I'm not even a computer expert, and I knew this stuff. I was already onto it, and I was right. I was right. Did I do that? That's Urkel. In case you're not an old timer like me. I never used to watch Urkel very much anyway. I guess it's warming up in here to go in there and take a shower. I'm going to close this anyway, just for the heck of it. There's a freak show on the dance floor. There's a freak show. Doom, doo, doom, doo, doom, doo, doom, doom, doo, doom. Okay, so I just wanted to start a video live feed real quick, and let me put the main phone up on the window. Just a second. I can't believe it pulled off the magnet part, and so now the phone slides everywhere because the case on these phones, it's made out of glass. I don't know if you know that or not, but yeah, it pulled off the metal piece because it's so strong. That new holder I got. So I'll probably put another piece back on there. As this gets wore out, it gets more and more sticky, but when it's brand new, you cannot put anything sticky on here. Just, it does not stick. But as it gets more and more wore out, then that metal piece will stick a lot better. I would open the window, but then people will hear me. So we'll just use this little makeshift thing to get it on. You know what I mean? Oh, don't look at my notes. These are very, very valuable notes here. I can't let you see this. Okay. Okay, so let me just set this out of the way for a minute. Okay, I'll put those just right there. Okay. And let me monitor my signal. So, Willie D. I don't know if you follow Willie D. If you don't follow Willie D, follow Willie D. I know a lot of times he talks about, what's going on with all these musicians and actors and stuff that you don't care about, but a lot of times when there's important stuff, he talks about it. And so this last one that he talked about is very important. So make sure that you're tuned in to Willie D Live on YouTube. And let me see. It's getting hot in here. I'm getting my water hot so I can go take a shower. And so there's a bunch of stuff going on right now. There's a lot of things going on right now. And I'm planning on making another video over there with the computer. I just learned that the old computers are gone. They don't even work no more. Windows 10 doesn't even work no more. And so it went out on October last year. They stopped doing all kinds of stuff for AI, just sent us into another realm. So, um, so I have to try and find a computer so that I can go back out there and start showing you stuff. For all winter, I couldn't be out there. So now I'm going to turn my big monitor back on, which is a TV, right? And turn my big monitor back on and show you some things. I'm planning on doing this. And so I've got to get a computer because I just learned my desktop computer, it doesn't even work no more. It won't even search. It's just stuck. You can't, email won't even turn on. So, and that brand new computer I got, it's no good either because it's all gone into AI now. So, I mean, I knew all along there was something up, right? I knew that this was more powerful than a $1,000 desktop computer. I knew the technology was here, and that's exactly what it is. So, let me just check my signal, and then I'll tell you some things. Nobody cares. If nobody cares, do you want me to boot you right now? Do you feel that ignorant that that's all you can say? Why don't you learn some of this stuff, and then you'll be able to leave some comments that make sense, or you are a devil, right? It could be that you're an extraterrestrial. In that case, I'll be watching what you say, and I will be the decider of whether or not you get booted. So, okay, up there. Let me see if I can put you up there without you falling down. Okay, that way I don't have to be turning to the side so much. Okay. So, I'll keep this book in case I have to make reference to it. Everything's all a big mess. Okay, so, there's a few things going on. Right now, what's the biggest thing? They're subpoenaing some high-level officials, political figures, popular. I don't know if popular is a word for it. Famous political figures, famous political people, our leaders, the top leaders of the government, the highest levels of government leaders, political figures are being summoned into court for being freaking perverts, right? And worse. And so you have a so-called war that could pop off to World War III. These are the things that are going on right now. So I guess we're going there, right? Okay. So, I told you that Chris Norland. Do you know how to spell Chris Norland? Norland is just like it sounds. Norlund. Chris Norland. He's a Vietnamese person, and he's in Vietnam or Korea or somewhere around there. Singapore, I don't know where he's at. Somewhere in Vietnam. He might be in Vietnam, actually. And he's a school teacher, used to live in Portland, Oregon, and then he took off to Vietnam. I don't know when. But I've been listening to his commentary or watching his channels for a while, maybe a year. I don't know, not keeping track that much. But anyhow, so for some strange reason, about 2 weeks ago, the best that I can remember, about 2 weeks ago, they stopped putting his videos on the live feeds. And that's pretty weird. I didn't notice it. I didn't catch on until today. I'm like, wait, how come I haven't heard anything from Chris Norland? So about 2 weeks ago, so I went in and I started looking back at the different videos about 2 weeks ago, trying to figure out where this occurred at, when they stopped putting the feeds on there. And he's in a completely different place. So I know that they stopped putting these videos out here because he's usually always in one place or another. But this is completely like he moved into a new apartment or something. And so if you listen to what he's talking about, okay, he's talking about some very people who have lots of money, billionaires. And I think that might have something to do with it. You be the judge. So go check out Chris Norland and also check out what he was putting up about 2 weeks ago, because apparently something he said struck a nerve with someone. And I don't know how they do it, but they basically silenced him. So if it got silenced on my channel, there's probably millions and millions of other channels that it's the same thing and they haven't noticed it. I just barely noticed it today. So it's kind of funny that what Chris Norland is talking about now just out of the blue, his channel basically disappears off my live feeds, off my search feeds. And this same subject and same individuals are the same people David Icke was talking about 5 years ago when they booted him off YouTube. 2 months ago, he's back on YouTube now. Okay? But if you go to his channel now and you see the videos that he just put up, and you follow them back to where he just barely got put back on YouTube, right? He was banned for 5 years because he was telling the people that the pandemic was a scam. Now that the people found out that, yes, he was right, now they finally let him back on YouTube. And all his videos that he put out there, and there's thousands of them, they're all loaded back up now. And so if you go and you see the stuff that he's putting out now 5 years later, because he just got back on YouTube, and you look at the videos that he made right before they booted him, right before they silenced him, banned, look at the videos he's got on there talking about the same people, the same subject as what Chris Norland is talking about now. So I think it would behoove you, if you want to know what's really going on, to know what these people are doing, go to David Icke's channel and first of all, watch all the videos that he just put up there, especially these last 8 videos. These last 8 videos that he just loaded up are basically telling you the stuff that I've been telling you to go in there and read in chapter 16. He's telling you on these last 8 videos. But if you follow it back a little bit more after you've watched those, and you follow it back a little bit more, you can watch when it was loaded up, right? It'll be a 5-year, there's a 5-year jump. And you go over there and watch those videos that he's talking about Billy. Okay? And so I just wanted to let you know that so that you can check this out. Pay attention to what Chris Norland is saying, because obviously he's striking something that these fallen angels, extraterrestrials, don't want people listening to. And also David Icke, this is what they're trying to hide, because it's almost about to be full disclosure on the extraterrestrials. And that's why they're going gung-ho on putting up this big old phony court proceedings. It's all freaking fake, because this is the way they've always swept stuff under the rug so that the people stop trying to find out who they are. The extraterrestrials. You know David Icke has been right the whole time. He's the one who alerted the people to all this stuff. He's been telling you about this, that they're bringing into court now for 25 years. Names them by name, first and last name. They're now being summoned into court. But it's not what you think it is. They're being summoned into court because the ones in court are extraterrestrials themselves, and they all trying to hide this under the disguise of they're trying to seek truth and justice, when really what they're doing is they're trying to sweep it under the rug to make you think that a full jury has looked at it and decided that they are innocent, and there are none of this conspiracy theory is valid. So the people go back to sleep. It's the same tactic they've been using over and over again. They used the same tactic in the 1960s when they put out the movement of all the people who were coming together, the hippies, the Latinos, the Cubanos, the Puerto Ricans, the American Indian movement, the Black Panther Party. This is the same method they used. Mainstream media. It's fake. It's phony. It's written by the mastermind They're all reading a script. It's a play for their video cameras that they call mainstream news media. They own it. It's the 1% who have 90% of all the wealth. How do you think they keep it that way? So this movie will show you how they put it out back in the 1960s when everyone was coming together against these devils. It's called The Weather Underground, and you can't watch it on YouTube no more. It's bombarded with fake freaking bullcrap. Miraculously, the DVD is still available right now on Amazon. Get a copy and watch The Weather Underground. The directors was Bill Siegel and Sam Green and Bill Siegel. Okay, they're the ones who directed it. But this documentary came out in around 2002, I think. And so I don't think it's going to be available very much longer on Amazon, because the other two documentaries that I told you about, Aaron Russo's Mad as Hell, got yanked off the market, off of Amazon. You can't even find the DVD anymore for sale. You might find one in a blue moon for $89, and nobody is going to buy a DVD for $89. Just like they yanked the documentary The Murder of Fred Hampton off of the market on Amazon after I started promoting it. After I started promoting Aaron Russo's Mad as Hell, now I'm promoting this one. So I think this one is going to be next. But for right now, the documentary, the DVD, is on Amazon, available on Amazon. This is exactly what they're trying to do right now. The people are catching on to these devils. They didn't have a clue about the extraterrestrials back then. They didn't know what they were dealing with. Now the people are starting to find out because of the information that's put in here, because of this whistleblower, David Icke, who I suspect the only way he can know all this information is because he's one himself. And that's why they're shaking in their shoes. They're trembling because they know he's not afraid to reveal this information in court. And that's why that's the last place they want to see him, in court. And yet they're still on here on live streams now. It's all over YouTube. These people who he named by first and last name, and they don't even make a peep about the accusations in the biggest. Everybody knows that this was the biggest. People were calling this a conspiracy theory. And they won't even utter his name. That's how much they're shaking in their shoes. And I don't mean I was shaking in my shoes whenever she flashed those baby blues. So yeah, she does a good impersonation of a fierce, evil. She's just acting, and I'll bet you she took acting in school. Somebody go find out. I'll bet you she took acting in school. I forget what the class is called. I never took it. But yeah, so I just wanted to alert you to that. How these people that these people talk about, they don't want you listening to this type of information. So David Icke is the one who's done all the research and stuff, but I'm just telling you about this new guy on the block, Chris Norland, that you might want to listen to and take a listen to. And so another very profound concept that I want to try to get you to think about is, I forgot to say this yesterday. Where did I write this stuff down at? Doggone it. Okay, here we go. The people are being played. And I mean everybody, but everybody is being played by the devil, Lucifer, and the fallen angels, also known as the reptilian shapeshifters. In Spanish, they're known as reptilianos cambia forma. And these books are available in Spanish, and I'm working on something right now to show you the pictures of them in Spanish. Okay, so they're being played, and I mean everybody. Iranian, Czechoslovakian, Latino, Paraguayan, Australian, they're all being played. What is one of the, besides mainstream media, what is one of their main tactics? Their main tactic is divide and conquer. Make the people fight each other. And what are the people doing right now? They're fighting each other. But the real fight is not between the color of your skin. You know, the famous quote by Martin Luther King was, "Judge a man by the content of his character, not by the color of his skin." Right? Well, the way I see it is, judge a man by the content of his character, not by the content of his bank account. Okay? Because when it comes down to it, the real fight is being between the haves and the have-nots. And like I told you, all the people in the middle who are living in nice houses, housing fit for human beings, not in dilapidated housing. The problem with this thousands and thousands and millions of people is they are afflicted with a condition I termed as selfish pigism. Okay? Because they could give two shits about the poor people and homeless people who are being oppressed by the biggest oppressor who's ever walked on 2 feet, which was exposed by Aaron Russo in his documentary. He was a martyr because nobody would stand up to these mofos because they would take you off the face of the earth in a hot New York minute. Even knowing about this documentary, after even watching this documentary, and you know they all know, the name of the documentary is called, and you can watch this on YouTube, it's all over YouTube, Is America Freedom to Fascism? Even knowing this oppressor who's oppressing people, making them homeless, these thousands and thousands and millions of people who are sitting in nice housing fit for human beings could give two shits about getting rid of this evil freaking oppressor because they are afflicted with selfish pigism. Okay? And so there is this tactic that they use, and it's called divide and conquer. And that means you get people to fight each other, to hate each other, and that's divide. And in so doing, you rule over them because you've conquered them, because they're a bunch of stupid freaking idiots, right? And so this method has been used through the media, okay? And so you can learn this if you study sociology. Just take a sociology class and you'll learn this. It's basically called conflict theory. I think Parenti wrote a book. It talks all about it, how they use all these tactics. But basically, take a sociology class or take your ass down to the library, sit your ass down and read some sociology books. If you can't take a college class, or watch some I don't know, you know, college textbooks is the best place to find out this information. But basically, it's called conflict theory, and so this is how they've been doing it. They've been using this technique: divide and conquer, make the people fight amongst each other. I think they've been using this tactic for longer than you realize. And I think it's actually in the Holy Scriptures. And because if you look at the story of David and Goliath, you'll see that yes, it was good that you stand up against the oppressor. But at the same time, it may be, I'm not saying this is concrete, it may be that they were using the same tactic because they glamorized this. And this, I think, may be why these two people are fighting each other. They've been fighting each other since the dawn of time, right? The Palestinians and the whatever, you could listen to what's his name, he'll tell you who they are. But he tells you all about this. The Persians is Iranian, I guess, and then Iraq is, I don't know, but then you have the Palestinians or something, I don't know. But right now it's Israel and Iran are fighting with each other, right? And so I think they may be using this same tactic, because in that story, David was glamorized. And I think this is what is keeping the fight going, because everybody wants to be David, right? They want to be the tough guy. And I'm thinking that story was put there by whoever put it in there. You know, it got edited through the biggest liar on planet Earth out of the United Kingdom or England. One of the kings, I don't remember his name, King. He was one of the big perverts. And I think that's why they might be fighting to this day, because it was glamorized. They want to be the man, right? Just like a lot of these people around here who think money makes you a man, driving a Corvette, because they've got ingrained in their psyche that this makes them the man. And it's a facade created by them. Okay? Only people with money command respect and for society to roll the red carpet out for them. This was a facade created by them through Hollywood. And so, do some research. David Icke tells you what Hollywood is all about and who runs it. It's another reason why they were trying to silence him before all this other stuff came out. This is when everyone was still laughing at him, when he first started telling people about these reptilian shapeshifters. It was these people who own Hollywood who were hell-bent on making sure nobody listens to him. And so I think what's going on in the psyche of these people who are fighting with each other, because what the hell is wrong with you, right? I mean, sitting here fighting like a bunch of kids, a bunch of freaking spoiled brats. And so I think that what it is this is a holy war. Like I told you before, everybody thinks their religion is the only religion, the right religion. Everybody else's religion is bogus. And they all believe this. My religion is right. My God is the only God. Your God is fake, is phony, is bogus. This is divide and conquer by Lucifer, the extraterrestrials. They've got the humans duped. If you don't believe this, read the Holy Scriptures, the Holy Quran. It's in the book, The Heights, Heights, the book of the Heights. It will tell you that these mofos, these freaking extraterrestrials, also known as Lucifer and the fallen angels, freaking hate the humans. They're an avowed enemy. Okay? So this Lucifer and the fallen angels have these people fooled. That's why they're fighting each other. This is divide and conquer. It created this. Okay? And so now they're fighting about, my religion has been right the whole time and my God was going to rule over you, right? That's been the basic belief in the psyche of everyone, that the United States was the greatest because we have God's blessing and our God is the only true God. That's why he's, ruling. When there is no freedom of speech, they won't come out and tell the truth. They won't bring David Icke into the courtrooms because they are the father of lies. Okay? So read this book, and that's who it is. It's Lucifer and the fallen angels have been fooling everybody. And that's why these two people are fighting, because they don't want to be embarrassed knowing that their religion wasn't the right religion. That's what they're fighting about. It's about whose holy scriptures are right. What is it? The Torah against what holy scriptures does Iran use? And they don't even have YouTube. I already told you what I think's going on. I think this person who they put up there, they put up this nice person, calm person, but you don't know who's behind it. The puppet masters. They're in every country. They are Lucifer and the fallen angels. Okay? So just think about that. They're fighting over whose Bible is right, whose God is right. And okay, so that's all I've got for right now. I just wanted to put this information back out there for you to check it out. Thanks for tuning in. Signing out from the central. Oh yeah, one more thing. Now I got something heavy. I got something really heavy to lay on you, but I'm going to let you think about this first, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff of how these people have been saying that this one organization is a cult. And I want to show you how this cult actually has some information. It's very, very bizarre. Okay. And it's very evil. I don't know why it's this way. Okay. But there is some literature and some videos from this organization. And I've checked out the videos, and I've read the literature. And there's one book in particular that it's a pamphlet that I want you to know that is out there, because right now it's virtually non-existent. Why do you have a multi-million-dollar buildings with this information in there and nobody knows it exists? Okay? So if anything, I just want to promote the one pamphlet. There's many pamphlets they have and many documentary DVDs they have that are exposing, how the second largest industry is freaking evil, right? They're evil because they're running a hustle. The second largest industry and the third largest industry are running a hustle, making the people not well, putting garbage in their food, right? Especially here in the United States. And then raking in the cash, funneling the funds from the taxpayers through Medi-Cal from making these mofos not well. Okay, how evil is that? These documentaries expose this industry. But the pamphlet that I want to tell you about is a pamphlet that talks about who created racism. And this one is really, it's got some valuable information in there. And even in this book, The Biggest Secret by David Icke, on page 199, he tells you where the racist organizations here, the White Hatters, tells you where they came from. They did not originate here. Okay? And they're devils. They hate humans. Why do you think they did the stuff to them that they did? And they use some bogus excuses. They say, oh, this side there, that, like that. It's because God did this. And it's Lucifer making up these things. And so this pamphlet that I'm talking about actually has, what's his name in it? It's got all kinds of information. And it has Nirvana. The guy Nirvana, I forgot his name right now. Cobain. I forgot his first name. But he's in there, and they just have this type of information in there. And older information too, like back from 1956, and they have, it's amazing that this pamphlet is not a multi-millionaire item on Amazon. Who freaking made all this document literature, but they're guarding it, making sure nobody gets the literature. It doesn't make sense. So that's why I say it's very, very tricky, because people are actually saying these people are a cult. So it's very strange. Why are you going to put the information, make the information, and then freaking hide it? And you've got, it's multi-billion-dollar. It used to be from a multi-billionaire. He was supposed to be a genius, which I tried reading his book, and I just can't make heads or tails out of it. And have you noticed that Kevin Trudeau is completely silent right now? He's not commenting on this at all. So, yeah, it's very, very evil, but there is a book in there, and it's called I don't remember the exact title, but it's basically Who Created Racism? This is divide and conquer, right? So, I'll try to get that to you if I can. I'm not making any promises because it is from the depths of hell. So I'm not making any promises. I'm not prepared to bring that information immediately. So stay tuned. Signing out from Central Valley, California. It's warming up. I'm going to go get a shower, and I'll probably start another live stream later. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for leaving the comments. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll show you my Facebook page, but I'll do it on the next one.